day. How are you doing on today? We are live. It is Thursday. There is nothing that's stopping us from being together today. And of course, I am Dr. Marion Sister 4. So listen, I got a couple of folks that were telling me that they remember they've been up watching me for a while and they've been remembering some things. And so I want to come in today and I want to get you all to do one thing for me. As you're watching me right now, I want you to go ahead and like and share and tell someone about where you are and tell them to come over and hang out with us on tonight. I'm going to be talking on a topic, here at Exponential Existence, our purpose is to serve you in a way that you can understand your level of personal mastery and how having personal mastery that leverages itself on the six life structures will take you to the next level of your ascension. And I'm saying it just like that, your ascension into your exponential existence. And exponential existence is an existence that is not waiting for others to give you permission. And exponential existence is constantly expanding and evolving in a multiplicity of ways simultaneously, right? As we are growing and evolving. And so here at our company that we do serve in personal mastery and we do serve business development as well. One of the things we're really working on is helping people to be able to restructure and realign themselves with the correct way that benefits them and with their thoughts, behaviors, beliefs, and practices in such a way that they can have holistic prosperity. And that means being able to have some level of advancement and evolvement within your personal physical fitness, looking at your wellness overall. Actually, when we say physical wellness, we mean your overall health. We're looking at the possibility of you being able to have rewarding and reciprocating relationships because it is real. Being able to have being able to have a livelihood, a business, a career by which you are able to thrive and see yourself going forward more exponentially. Being able to have yourself in a more spiritual awareness and activation, having your finances in order because your finances are very different from the means by which you generate income. Very different. And then you go ahead and you throw in there the whole concept that you want to begin to live a life that is full with freedom, freedom for yourself. And then all begins right here in our minds. And many of us are focusing outside of ourselves, but really the answers lie within. So that's the genesis and the premise behind my company, Exponential Existence, to remind individuals they have the power, the control to create the life that they desire because it's already within you. It's already within you. So you might as well start living it. Absolutely, positively, so it is. So today on the Thursday Night Thought, I want to talk about a couple of topics. I had my personal coaching call yesterday, and one of the things that my coach was talking about was this idea of the law of resistance. As I said, I study mindset and spiritual things a lot, and we were talking about the law of resistance. Now, the law of non resistance, I should say. So, the law of non resistance is simply looking at where you are allowing yourself to receive and shift your perspective. We've been hearing this word a lot about pivoting and turning over and revamping and recreating and propelling forward. But in order to do that, we have to be able to have it with non resistance. A lot of people are resisting right now the changes, the natural changes that are occurring within our world globally. There is a cosmic return to a higher level of equity, a higher level of love, a higher level of attention and giving value back to people. So this conversation tonight is going to talk to us about a topic, and I'm going to call it It Is Perfect. And I am, and you are too. It is perfect, and you are too. And the reason why I want you to start thinking that in your mind, I want you to just keep that in your mind as I'm bringing you in and I'm having you start this conversation with me. And as you're coming in tonight, I'm also going to invite you to do a couple of things for me before we get started, because like I know that everybody is on the internet right now. Everybody is on the internet right now. And so a couple of you guys have come back to me and said to me, Marion, when you used to start the show, you would get us geeked up and you would have us talk and you would have us type that we are the best thing growing. And you would say, Marion, why you want us to say we the best thing growing? And I'm going to tell you that even right now in 2020, with all that we have going on, with all the things that have occurred or not occurred, guess what? You are still hashtag the best thing growing. So if you're watching me right now, wherever you are on Periscope, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, please go ahead and type in the comments hashtag best thing growing. And then I want you to say it out loud, because when you can begin to confirm that you are the best thing growing, that means that even if you make an error, even if you miss your mark, you're still growing, you're still expanding, you're still in movement. Because when you're in movement, you are definitely growing. Just like a plant, you put it in the ground, you put the seed in the ground, maybe you put a seedling in the ground. Either way, it takes a while before you begin to see the manifestation and the fruit of that. So the best thing growing, hashtag the best thing growing. A lot of people say, somebody else said to me, well, Marion, here's the thing. I don't understand how you can still be so joyful, so happy, so on point with your things. You're still moving, growing. You're still motivating us. Even if we don't want it, you are still motivating us. And I said, I sure am, because I understand that I must also, not only must I recognize that I'm the best thing growing, but I must also understand that I must focus. I focus. I focus. Hashtag focus, focus, focus. Because just like that little engine that said, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, we got to start talking to ourselves about I focus, I focus, I focus. Too much of our time is based upon the circumstances that are around us, and we are negating the fact that we need to just focus, 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 because there's going to be a lot of distractions, because we have a lot more time on our hands, y'all. People have a lot more time on their hands to distract you. Things have a lot more, you have a lot more time to read articles and watch things on social media or answer a phone call or read a text. You have more time now because of the way that the world currently is under this thing called COVID. So I'm inviting you right now to hashtag focus, focus, focus. Hashtag focus, focus, focus. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me on tonight. Again, I am Dr. Marion, sister of full of exponential existence. And yes, it's going down every Thursday on the Thursday Thought. And I want you to understand that everything that we talk about here is about you maximizing the greatest parts of you. Because we have been conditioned for so long to look outside of ourselves for the answers. We're waiting from this miraculous thing. But here's a secret: come in close. Miracles happen all the time. Miracles happen all the time. We're waiting for this great explosion when it's really just simply the flow. So I wanted to get into our conversation tonight and just chat with you a little bit about this ideal, as I said, of perfection. Perfection it is, and perfection you are. You know, in this law of non-resistance, it means we are allowing ourselves to surrender and trust. We are allowing ourselves to open up to possibilities. And for those of you that are saying that sounds like your acronym that you usually use when you are talking to us about stopping, stop. When things get crazy, feel like you just can't go on, stop. Stop means to be able to surrender, trust, and open up to the possibilities that are around you to improve your current state of affairs. Now, many of us typically, when we have a difficult opportunity or a challenge, what we want to do is we tend to say, oh, wow, this is where I'm at. So I usually say you have 5 minutes for a pity party. 5 minutes for a pity party. Recognize that something has happened that you're not content with. Begin to strategize and figure out and look around and see what you can do to get out of it. Find the resources, connect with the people, and put it into action. Revel in the new action and be committed to it and keep going no matter what. And 5, celebrate the new change and the exponential experience that you just created. It's not, it sounds like it's going to be difficult, but it's not, because you have to understand the body responds to the mind, not the mind responds to the body. So you have to be willing to allow yourself to understand this basic premise. It really is perfect, and you are too. We are an extension. We are a byproduct. We are a creation that is based upon this universal God, source, light, universe, holistic being that we are a part of. So therefore, we also have that level of perfection. We are always evolving to get more and more aware and engaged in that perfection. What does that look like in your daily life? That means you have to become more consciously aware that when you begin your thoughts in your mind, which is not your brain, but when you begin your thoughts in your mind, you have to be willing to fight to have it to manifest that which you desire. Like water. Water, for instance. Water is made up of molecules. But the purpose of water is to always return to where there is a higher concentration of water. You can place water into a cylinder. What is it going to do? It's going to conform to that cylinder. You can place it in a box, and what is it going to do? It's going to conform to a to the box. So if we're going to keep going forward, if we're going to keep thriving into our newness of our life and evolving, cylindrically evolving upward, never downward, we're evolving upward to return to the vastness, to the universal forces that we come from. This Thursday thought is to remind you that all is perfect and you are too. Who are we to defy ourselves in the moments when we are examining the higher parts of who we are? Personal mastery is about looking at the person, meaning you. As we are responding to the things that are around us in our conscious mind, we choose in our consciousness, in our conscientious consciousness, we choose to monitor what my friend calls our mental real estate. He and Mary Morrissey, our mental real estate, which is your mindset, which are your thoughts, because your thoughts create your reality, right? You have a thought, you form a belief, the belief becomes a framework, the framework dictates what you're going to do. Absolutely, positively, so it is. So tonight we're talking about perfection. As I said, but that water is constantly wanting to get its molecules back to other water molecules. So it will conform, but it will still be water. And some of us are looking at our conditions and our circumstances, and we are saying to ourselves right here, right now, today, we're saying to ourselves that we are talking about our conditions more than we are talking about the solution. SOUL, right? Solution. Because the solution is where your answer lies. The solution is where you get the reinforcement to come to make sure that the results come about, because you are now focused, you are centered, you are going inwardly to allow yourself to align with the conscientiousness that you have developed based upon what you're experiencing and what you desire. That's how the mind works. And so when you allow yourself to become part and unfold into a majesty of vastness and abundance and quality relationships and connections, you're no longer looking for an outcome. You are looking for a moment to begin to say, it is what it is. Quote Michael Beckwith, it is what it is. Accept it. Now harvest the good, because there is good all around. We are in a conditions. If you allow your circumstances and conditions to dictate your levels of joy, your level of prosperity, your level of abundance, your level of relationships, then you are not living your fullest and best life. Remember, you are the best thing growing. So you don't give yourself the idea that you have to do everything so quickly, that everything has to be exact right. Every moment is a new moment to begin a new opportunity, new possibilities, new moments of expansion, new moments of growth. Oh my greatness. The joy that you feel when you begin to understand that what you create your own vortex. It's already inside of you internally, and then you begin to create it based upon your thoughts, your beliefs, your conversations, your actions, your habits, the things that you allow to come to your senses that allow us to pull up to our brain and say, what is this? Or it goes to our subconscious and says, no, 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 yes, yes, yes. And don't forget about the emotion. Which one is going to be triggered? The fight or the flight, run to it or run away from it. The very thing that you say you desire. Allow yourself to evolve into a level of perfection. Make the objective of your daily life to be to grow, to expand, as the exponents do. With every moment, with every thought, with every action, allow it to be an intention that goes along with it, that nudges us, that is the propelling force that says, I am going to grow and expand. I am going to move past uncertainty. I'm going to move beyond the moments of doubt. I'm going to move beyond the current circumstances, because dwelling on that circumstance doesn't eradicate it. It actually goes, because even on yesterday, I pulled an intention card and I shared with the family, with the intimate family, that when we are buying into whatever you focus on is going to grow. Whatever you focus on is going to grow. So you might as well be unapologetic that you want to begin to have what you want, have what you desire. And that should be love, abundance, joy, prosperity, reciprocating, rewarding relationships on every level of your life, increased spiritual activation and awareness on every level of your life, physical wellness, a positive relationship in your business or your career, finances on lock, balance, harmony, growth, circulation, allowing yourself to surrender to the possibilities that are around you. Sometimes we have to be able to cut off the media that keeps speaking to us. And sometimes we have to take ourselves out of associations. Remember, I said rewarding, reciprocating relationships. Many of us are in relationships that allow us to be the dumping post. And you can say you don't, but the dumping post, I'll take it from me. And they just dump it on you, dump it on you, dump it on you, everything that is not your vision. And after a while, you can't see your vision's clouded. You can't see 2 feet in front of you, even with the lens, because you're buried in all of the existential circumstances and conditions that have nothing to do with you and the vision that you have agreed to in your conscientious consciousness to bring to fruition. You have forgotten your alignment, like the water, to conform to some levels to the container you've been put in, but you're always spiraling up in a way to develop the solution. Perfection it is. And you are too. Nothing is broken, nothing is missing. Everything is available to you, but you have to be willing to open up to see them. And it's not about comparing yourself to other people. It is about going moment by moment and forgiving yourselves for the actions or inactions that took place the moment before and moving forward. If we can do that, if we can do that, then life becomes better. Excuse me. Life becomes better. No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. It becomes a much better opportunity for you. I talk all day, so I don't care. Think about that for a second. What have you been giving up? What have you been denying yourself because you're focusing on the circumstances? If that's you, if you have been that person, just type a 1. If you've ever been a person that's focused on what's wrong more than you did the solution. I don't have the money. What can we do? I don't have the money. What can I do? I don't have the money. No, that's not what you do. You say, I don't have them. I'm not right this present moment. There's no money for me to spend and allocate to this particular thing. What type of solution do I need to have right now? And the solution will come through and the solution will come to you. It may not drop instantly, but it may be that someone is going to walk into you and not necessarily give you the money, but open up the door for you to begin to have abundance and actually have an experience similar to the one you desire. Too often, we got people waiting for somebody else to give them exactly what they have the ability to create. Or they won't allow another person to give them the tools to be able to create it. It doesn't mean it's not yours if you get support. It's still yours. It just means you were able to draw onto you the support that you needed, the parts of you that needed to come. You're not locked in poverty. You're not locked in singleness. You're not locked in a dead end career for yourself. You have choices, but it all begins with you understanding that every moment that you are doing an action or an inaction, if it is not giving you the results you want, just like a scientist in a lab, you need to begin to say, I forgive you, thank you, I love you, please forgive me, and go on to the next moment and do the next thing. Do something different this time. Open up a little wider, scan a little more, view the circumference of the area, and begin to understand because your consciousness has already set the goal, the target. Now it's up to you to implement. It's up to you to implement. You need to implement. And when you implement with integrity, knowing that what you are doing right now is the best thing that can be done because you are the best thing growing and you focus, focus, focus. Nothing is going to happen because you sit into a room. You have to begin to implement. You have to begin to engage. That's why I love for you all to type and communicate with me. When I host my events, I like to walk out and sit at the tables and talk because that's where the real exchange is. That's where the real growth is. The real support, the growth, the advancement. We are on a journey, an upward journey to realign ourselves at a certain level of perfection. And perfection may make some people feel uncomfortable, and that's okay because right now we're all could be at different places and different spaces. But perfection is not a bad word. Perfection is about you recognizing that you can always get a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. If you can climb a 10-foot wall, then you can climb a 15-foot wall or a 20-foot wall. Or if you can run 1 mile, then you can run 10 miles. You may not do it right away, but there's an incremental steps that need to happen along the way. And so in those incremental steps, we advance ourselves closer and closer to where we want to be. Allow yourself, one of the things I talk about a lot is to allow yourself the time to truly have your daily practice. And that comes from self-discipline because self-discipline becomes so important as we are allowing ourselves to surrender and trust and open up to the possibilities. Let's stop a little bit more often. Let's create a space that allows us to truly grow and expand. Let's create a moment of life that allows us to become bipartisans and move into a new level of our own personal mastery. Become the lobbyist for you and identifying the sole solution that restores you back to a place where only you can go. There's only a spot made to fit you perfectly. Connect yourselves with individuals that support, not just smile and laugh and say yes, not just make you feel fancy, not just allow you to have the moments. I remember hearing this a lot, maybe like 15 years ago when I first got started. If you're the smartest person in the room,